Alright guys, what's going on? Hope you're all having a super highly successful day. Welcome to the GrowingAU Show. I need to thank every single one of you, first off and foremost, for helping and allowing the GrowingAU Show and the GrowingAU channel to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. By the time I'm recording this video, we're already at like 111, but I appreciate every single one of you that have supported the show so far to help us hit this really first major milestone. So I appreciate every single one of you. The response and the views on the recent videos have been so incredible and amazing, and I'm so thankful for it. So I just want to take a little bit of time today to show my appreciation. But besides that, I do have a very value-packed episode for you today. I'm going to be talking about some more financial freedom tips. This is Finding Fire Fridays. Let's roll that intro and jump on into the episode. So I've been reading this book recently by John C. Bogle on common sense investing. It's actually the little book of common sense investing. If you haven't heard of it, you haven't read it, it'll be linked down below if you want to pick it up. But while I'm reading this book, which talks about some of the most valuable places to be investing your money in the stock market, I thought about, there's kind of a pathway to money, right? Once we get our money, there's so much that we could do with it. Some things obviously far more productive than other things. And what I want to be talking about today is kind of the hierarchy of money, as we're going to be calling it. You may have heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or this is going to be we're going to call it the GrowingAU hierarchy of money. Talking about from the minute that you get paid, where should that money be going? Where should that money be allocated to allow you to make the most money, have your money work for you, and save your money most efficiently? That's what we're going to be going over in the video today. So the first step is obviously you're going to get paid, right? But there's actually a little bit we can do with our money before we get paid to help us really save and plan for the future. And that, of course, as you may have already guessed, is a retirement account, specifically a 401k. There are a couple other options out there, but I think the 401k right now is probably the most popular. So we're going to be talking about that one today. The thing about the 401k that's great is if you have the ability to have an employer-matched 401k, you really need to be taking advantage of it. And basically, the way that's recommended across the board, and I'm going to do the exact same thing here today, is with an employee-matched 401k, you put exactly in the same amount that they are willing to match. The highest amount they're willing to match, that is what you need to put in before taxes. That's the great part, is that money's taken out right away, so you don't have to be worried about being disciplined or putting that money aside yourself. It's just taken out right away. Your employer matches it, and it's basically free money, at least half free money. And the 401k employer matched is just one of the greatest tools that you can use to really begin to grow your wealth before that money even gets in your hands. You set up a couple things with your employer, and you don't even have to be worried about the financial discipline. You're already ready to save money for the future, which is, after all, just going to improve your chances of being financially free. Maybe you don't have an option to start saving money before you get a paycheck, but what are a couple things we can do once that paycheck is officially deposited into our bank account? In my opinion, the next place that your money needs to go once it's in your bank account is into a Roth IRA. Now, how much you should put into your Roth IRA, that's going to be dependent on how much you can afford per month. You're going to have to look at your budget. Apps like Mint are going to be able to help you create that budget. The thing I like about it is it allows you to do a couple different things. Number one, you can put that money in the Roth IRA, so you're saving for your future, saving for retirement. There's no better time than right now, because after all, the longer you save, combined with compound interest, the more you're going to have for retirement. The other great part about a Roth IRA is since that money is technically in there for the long run, you can actually take some time to really begin to practice with the stock market. You can actually use a lot of the techniques talked about in the little book of Common Sense Investing, because a lot of the techniques in this book referring to index funds are going to be great for long-term investments like your Roth IRA. So another reason you should check this book out. That Roth IRA is going to help you, like the 401k, plan for the long term, but also going to allow you to get some experience trading in the stock market before you decide to go and trade in a personal brokerage. So a lot of really awesome advantages to a Roth IRA. The sooner you start, the better. In fact, if you're 18 years old or the day you turn 18, if you're not there yet, set up a Roth IRA. If you haven't yet set up a Roth IRA, I would highly consider setting one up as soon as this video is over. The amount of value and potential from a Roth IRA is rather endless. So you're saving for retirement. You got your 401k set up, you got your Roth IRA set up. Both of them are saving for that retirement and that financial freedom that we are pursuing in the future. But what about now? What are some things that we can be doing now that we've prepared for the future? How about the present? I would say the next place that your money needs to go is into some sort of emergency fund, either like the $1,000 emergency fund like we talked about, but even more specifically, trying to save up 4 to 6 months of working income. The reason that this is so important is because we talked about the $1,000 emergency fund in a past video, but the thing that really gives you a lot of benefit when it comes to 4 to 6 months of working income is the fact that if you, for whatever reason, were to get laid laid off, if you were to get fired, if you felt the need to leave your job, you know that you're going to be able to support yourself and that you're not trapped in a position. You are not completely dependent on that position to support your lifestyle. It removes the living paycheck to paycheck problem, and you know for a fact that if anything were to happen, or if you simply get fed up with where you are, you have the freedom and the ability to leave that position. I think the reason I place it third on this list above debt is because I feel that along with the Roth IRA and the emergency fund or 4 to 6 month kind of working income fund, both of those things allow us to take a consistent amount out of our paychecks per month. We've talked about that, why that is so important when it comes to financial discipline, because the more you do something, the more you earn. That has to do with interest and compound interest. And one thing we want to talk about is no matter how much you make, just to continually take out that same percentage every single month. Really, if you set that up with your Roth IRA and you set it up with your long-term income savings, both of those allow you to really begin to build some of that financial discipline to making sure that you continually remove that amount every single month. And you can only put, let's just say, $10 a paycheck into your long-term savings, then put $10 a paycheck. The amount doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is the end goal and the consistency on reaching that end goal. Don't even worry about the time. It's just being consistent over whatever period of time it takes. As you can probably guess, we're going to be looking at paying off debt. It's really hard to get ahead in life or talking about being financially free if you're not first at zero. And honestly, if you're not at that point, don't feel bad. Most Americans are. Most people in the world have some sort of debt attached to their name. It's just honestly, unfortunately, a natural part of life. But the thing about it is we want to start working on paying that off, right? And again, it's just like everything else. If you can only afford to put the minimum payment towards it per month, if maybe not even that much in certain situations, the point is that you're consistently working and paying that down consistently every single month. And that's what those first couple steps are going to help you build, that discipline and that consistency. Debt may take a while to pay off. And as you know, life is happening. You can't afford to put all your money there. So that's why I do feel that it does come a little bit farther down on the list. Even if it means that those first couple categories, the IRA and the long-term savings, are a little bit lower in what you can contribute to those, I do still think that putting your money there first, knowing that the future will come, the day with no debt will come, is beneficial. If you decide that I have so much debt that I need to put that first, well, then that talks about rearranging this triangle, rearranging this GrowingAU financial hierarchy of needs for your own basically situation. Highly acceptable and highly important. But I do believe that, just putting a little bit into some of those savings accounts before anything else, before any expenses come out, is really going to help you in the long run build that consistency and discipline. But now we just want to start attacking that debt to get to zero so we can start building our excess. What now? What's really next? Well, now I think we can really start looking at making more money with our money. Obviously, money in our Roth IRAs, our 401ks, money in our long-term savings account, assuming you use one of our good savings accounts that we linked in this video up here. If you're doing any of those things, that money is working for you to a certain degree. But the thing about the retirement accounts is if you're 18, you're not going to be reaping those rewards for a while. And let's be honest, 1.55% in a savings account isn't much. So the next thing we want to be doing is finding ways for our money to continue working for us now that we have it. And I think there's 3 specific ways that we can do this. Number 1 being investing, number 2 being business, and number 3 being education. And let me explain what I mean by that. So obviously investing, that's setting up some sort of personal brokerage and adding the consistent same amount to that every month. This book actually talks about it a lot in the fact that we need to, whenever you're investing, the importance is playing the long game and playing the consistent game. Having the discipline to say, I'm going to put 20%, I'm going to buy or put in 20% every single month, despite if the market's up or down. We're not timing it. We know and understand that the S&P 500 historically has had returns. Every low decade has ended in a higher decade. So it's that consistency over a long term that builds the most millionaires. And after all, if you have the time, you might as well play the game that is proven to win. So setting up that investing account early, learning how to invest in something like your Roth IRA, and then taking that into a personal brokerage account with the discipline you've already built is invaluable. But besides that, there's a couple other places that you can be choosing to put your money. One of those places is in business, starting a small online side hustle, a small business, some sort of e-commerce, drop shipping, Shopify. There's a whole bunch of videos out there. I'm not going to go into it. You guys are smart. You know what the options are. You know what you're passionate about. Finding any one of those things and finding a way to make a successful business around it, I feel is highly valuable and a great way to continue to have your money work for you. It's kind of what I'm doing here with the GrowingAU Show. Obviously, this is a long haul. This is going to be taking a while to build it up to that profitable point, but I understand that once it's built to that profitable point, it's going to help me support my life, my family, my lifestyle. So kind of exactly what we're doing here. I'm taking that advice. And then finally, the last place I think you should be putting your money, and anywhere in these three categories we've given is equal, is the education category. And this could be school if you want it to be. If that's what you need to do, by all means, let's let it be school. But I'm talking more about paying for course type education, right? Maybe it's buying books or like the ones linked below. Maybe it's buying courses from online professional finance individuals. Maybe it's buying courses from entrepreneurs and finding ways to do things. Because after all, I think a lot of when it comes to making money, most of that is not taught in school. Most of like having profitable skills is not really taught. So I think investing in your education to grow what it is you're good at, to grow your personal profitability, either whether it be in finance, entrepreneurship, your passions, whatever it is, there's courses on it. And I think investing in some of those courses to improve your overall character is just going to help you continue to make more money in all the other categories, or even in the job that's supplying you with this income that we're splitting up throughout the triangle. And finally, of course, the very last category on here is our wants. After all, at some point, you gotta buy what you want. You gotta treat yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. After all, you made your money. You should have the right to enjoy it just at least a little bit, right? So buying our wants, saving up for something, it's a feeling of accomplishment. And it's going to make a lot of these things easier. If you know that in the end of the day, you're still saving up for that want, or maybe that trip you want to take, or that new Xbox you want to buy, or something like that, whatever it might be, it's a great way to build up and support these financially skyrocketing principles and practices that we've already put in place with the other steps before it. You got to treat yourself every once in a while. There's no problem enjoying what you've reaped. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. Again, this is a kind of a new installment of our Finding Fire Fridays, Financial Independence, Retire Early. We know we're going to keep changing it up. Let me know what you think about these. I know it's a little bit different, but I do hope you enjoyed. Again, definitely check out this book linked below. Top link in the description. Again, a whole bunch of very valuable resources down there. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to drop it a like, give us a subscribe, turn on post notifications. Thank you for everyone who made 100 subscribers possible. I look forward to hitting the next milestone with every single one of you. Your support is forever cherished. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you in the next one.